Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jess. Today I'm doing a pick a card, and it's going to be for the energy of the first few weeks of July. And timing is fluid, so just take this as the next few weeks from the time that you watch this video. Now, disclosure, I do have a few dogs sitting around me, so if you hear some breathing or grunting, it's the dogs. And also construction in the neighborhood right next door. So just bear with me. Hopefully it's not too loud for you. I'm actually inserting a picture of the 3 piles here. So just go ahead and pause the video, take a few deep breaths and see which pile really you're drawn to, your intuition tells you to pick. And then we'll jump right into group 1. Alright, group 1. Now that would be the labradorite crystal. So if you chose this guy, group 1, that's you. Let's see, your current overall energy, your state of mind, overall theme for you right now is owl energy. And that's awesome to me. I feel like owls in this deck really represent abundance and being able to see super far in the distance at night. So, a lot of other people and creatures aren't able to do that. So you're someone who you're able to trust your intuition. You're able to see what's not there. You're able to really hone in and use your intuition to see. Also, the owl can represent that something good is coming in. So right now you're at a place where yes, you're healing right now. It's a time for healing. I'm hoping that focuses. It's time for healing. You're showing the world the real you, and you're not letting your past hold you back. So it's like you're finally at that point where you're recovering from hurts in the past, and you're showing the world the real you. You're letting those emotions out that maybe you haven't in the past, that you have potentially kept within because you were afraid, or maybe someone hurt you and caused you to question your self-worth is what I'm picking up. Like you questioned your own voice because someone made you question your self-worth. But right now you're actually in a really good place. You've done a lot of healing. You're able to show the world the real you. You're coming out of your shell more. All right, but what could potentially hold you back from receiving this blessing that's coming in with that owl energy is being caught between need and necessity. I like that. Need and necessity. So it's like you've got to find a balance. Sometimes, with money, for example, you're like, oh, I really need this new makeup that was just released. Well, no, you don't actually really need it. Maybe you need it, but it's not a necessity in your life. So those are two different things, need versus necessity, right? Necessity is something you can't live without. It's necessary for you to live. Let's think like food, water, bills for your home, shampoo, conditioner, those are things, toothpaste, those are things that are necessary. Most people would consider necessary versus things that you feel that you need. Okay, those are two different things. I may need a new tarot deck, but it's not actually necessary for me to live my life. So that's something maybe you can get caught up in, and potentially if you get caught up in that, that can kind of snowball, right? Like racking up a lot of debt because you can't control your spending. And this is just an example. It could also be maybe you spend too much time watching TV because you feel like it's necessary. Well, it's not actually. You can get away with an hour a day and then use the rest of your day to be productive. Go outside or, pick up a hobby, things like that. So it's just, spending is just an example of how that could potentially be impacting your life. I feel like you need to get out there. You need to really focus on, okay, what do I need versus what is necessary? And that'll help center you some in order to bring your energy to the place where you can receive abundance, okay? So how to get past that, really? Deep replenishment. Retreat, rest, be held. I like that. So it's like, what is it for you to feel that you're able to rest? Is that going for a walk? Is that listening to music in bed with your headphones on? You know, what is that for you? Whatever that is that's what you need to do in order to start seeing in between those things, okay? Now, the potential outcome, it seems like you still might have trouble seeing this. You do have 10 of Pentacles, okay? That's good, obviously. But then with the 10 of Pentacles, sorry, my dog's drinking and there's a lot of construction noise. So with the 10 of Pentacles came out the 8 of Swords as well. So it's like, I still feel like you might get in your own way a little bit, right? Like you might be the reason why this blessing doesn't come in. Like you're in a good place right now, but I feel like it's like 80-20. I mean, that's still actually, it's like 60-40. So your 60% of you is like healing and really like trying to recover from your past, but then the other 40 is like, oh, well, I'm still gonna recover in a not healthy way. I'm gonna recover from that spending addiction by now eating too much, or, you know, like you're not healing in the right way maybe. So it's like, if you can't get out of your own way, you're gonna be blinded to this blessing that's coming in. Yeah, I feel like it's like you're 60, most of the time, you're doing a good job of healing the right way, you know, the healthy way, dealing with the emotions and then replacing those with healthy habits. But then it's like some of the time you're not. You're actually just distracting yourself instead of dealing with the emotions. I know it's hard, and maybe you feel like, oh, I shouldn't be... Let's see, actually, let's get some clarity. Temperance came out when I asked about need and necessity. So it's like, okay, where are you going to find that? What is it that's going to help fill your cup? Ah, I like this. Okay. So the book, I wanted to read the book on temperance. Something was telling me to read the book. Okay. To heal diseased animals, winged sheep draws water from the fountain of life and casts a spell with 2 golden goblets. Water flowing from the fountain, I ask not life for myself. Drink here while facing into the sun, and you shall be healed. Okay, I feel like that fits exactly what we're saying. Right? Where and how are you going to heal? That's what you need to focus on right now in order to receive that blessing that's coming in. All right, and then so initially we had deep replenishment was how, you know, they recommended that you heal from this. So when I asked for some clarity on that, we've gotten a few things. All right, we've got the Hermit, the Lovers, and then 2 Pentacles. So to me, it's like you have to, potentially you're someone who wants to just be alone, you know, go within, not really like spend time around people. but I feel like you have to find a balance, because that Lover's energy, that like going, it's not necessarily like romantic energy, but it is like people that mean a lot to you, right? Like you have to make the choice to go towards that energy versus staying within. And it could, for some of you, could potentially mean like getting back out there as part of your healing process. Like maybe this was a heartbreak and you need to get back out there. But I do feel like some of you it is, because you've got Ace of Chalices and King of Wands underneath at the bottom of the deck here. So some of you, that is what it is from, but I feel like a lot of you, this is actually more of like a spiritual journey, especially with that owl energy, being very, very clairvoyant and intuitive, things like that. So for a lot of you, I feel like this is more your spiritual. Let's get some clarity. Yeah, High Priestess came out. So I think most of you, that's what it is going to be about. But I want some clarity on this Eight of Swords. Why is that in the outcome? Why is that in the outcome, please, for group 1? So to me, so we got King of Cups and King of Pentacles that came out when I'm asking this for this clarity. So to me, it's like you're not in touch. You're not, potentially the reason that might be in your outcome is because you're not grounded. You're not in touch with your emotions. You're not in, within these two energies, right? Like these are strong energies. You're not making the choices to be grounded, to deal with your emotions. And I think if you trust your intuition and move forward with healing the right way, you're going to get that 10 of Pentacles. Okay, you're going to be like so blessed and so amazed, and everything's going to be great. But you have to focus on really healing in the right way, I think. All right, I think that's it, group 1. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hi, group 2. That would be the Rose Quartz Crystal. Okay, group 2. So let's dive right in for you. Your overall energy right now, overall theme of your reading today is the Bear. All right. That's good energy, right? Coming out of hibernation, just kind of starting to move towards a new path, a new time period of life, right? All right, so you right now, you're kind of, you're closing on a chapter. Conclusions are within reach. All right, so it's like, you're right there. You've only got a tiny bit left to go in order to kind of close on this chapter. And then from that point, you've got luck on your side. So that's awesome. You've got luck on your side. And also meditate and contemplate. So right now you need to spend some time focusing on this new journey. Where does that go? What does that look like? What emotions are involved? Because it's new moon in Pisces, so it's like this is really an emotional time for you. What is this new chapter in your life? I feel like it's an emotional change, but for the good, because you've got luck on your side. So it's something potentially that you want, that you've been asking for, is starting to come together. Okay. Something that could potentially stand in your way is not being vigilant. Okay. So that could mean a lot of things, right? But we'll get some clarity in a minute. But not being vigilant, what comes to mind initially is like this dragon. This is a dragon. And I don't know if the glare is going to let you see, but there's actually a opening in the center of the dragon. Actually, it's not. He's leaning on a rock, and the rock has an opening, and within that opening is like the tree of life. So to me, it's kind of like you're potentially, what could get in your way is you're not planting the roots for your tree of life. You're not taking the actions that are needed in order to move forward in this new chapter. You know, we have to trust spirit and, you know, your higher being. You have to trust that, but you also need to take action as well. Like, you can trust that they're going to guide you along this path and bring you what you need, but you also have to show them, hey, I'm moving forward. I want this. I'm making this happen. Help me. You know, if you're just sitting there waiting, they're going to wait too, right? Like, the world is going to give you what you're giving to the world, in a sense. Like, if you don't move forward, you're not going to get this blessing, this new chapter. I think it's more so a new path. You're not going to get this new path, this new journey, unless you start kind of moving and you pay attention to that. So a way that you could get past that is to trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you, right? So I think it's kind of interesting because when I looked at the Be Vigilant card, I initially thought that that tree of life was inside the dragon, like in the center of the dragon. And now they're both, and I'm hoping you can see, but these people back here, they have a little light right at the center. She's kind of like holding her center. So it's like, what is your gut telling you? Okay, maybe there's a choice that you have in front of you. Like, what path do I take? Well, trust what your intuition and what your gut is telling you. You'll know which path you want to take. And then the likely outcome, ooh, all right, it's change, it's rebirth, and it's death and the stars is what you got. So it's like major change, right? Major endings, rebirth, and then the stars. So I want to read the book on the stars. I like the book on this one. I look at my reflection in the water that I pour and let trickle lightly down the green grass. I renew the magic and hope of the forest. So to me, it's like she's this little lady. She's using these cups to get water from this little pond, and she's pouring that on the grass, right? And she's looking deep at herself, and she's got 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on the land, and it's under a beautiful starry night. So it's almost like grounded, but it's more balanced because she's grounded on the ground, but then she's also within the water in her emotions. So I feel like this new path, this outcome, you're going to be really balanced. It's like wishing upon a star too. It's always how I feel when the stars come out, right? Like your wildest wishes are coming true because you see a shooting star, you make a wish, and hopefully it comes true. And usually does. That's how stars work, in case you didn't know. But I definitely feel like your outcome is quite amazing. You just have to trust your intuition and make sure you take the actions, because maybe you can be kind of stagnant, right? Like the bear, like sometimes doesn't want to move, you know. They could be a little lazy. I could see that. But at the same time, when you know they've got kids and there's a threat, they are not afraid to take action and protect. They're young. They're not afraid to go on a long journey to get food. They will do stuff, and they will make changes and plans happen. Okay, so I feel like, because that earth energy you can get a little stuck in, But I definitely think that if you can get past that, then you're going to be able to go down a path that's really, really good for you. All right, let's get some clarity. Okay, so the Prince of Pentacles came out. So I'm asking about, be vigilant and what could potentially stand in your way. And I feel like this, again, means you're not taking those first steps. You're not planting those seeds. You're not, doing what it takes in order to start this journey. Okay. All right, let's get some clarity on trust the niggling feeling. All right. Yeah, 8 of Wands came out. So, oops. To me, it's like when you do realize that you can trust that gut feeling, you can trust that intuition, you really need to move forward towards that, okay? Towards whatever it is, that path that you're taking, whatever decision it is that you're making, that's what you need to move forward towards, because it is a decision, right? Technically, I mentioned that. I feel like this is a big decision on a new path, a new part of your life. Maybe it's a move. Let's see what is the decision. I think it's more so internal. It's more so deciding that you're no longer going to be hurt, because we got 10 of Swords in reverse. So it's like, okay, I'm going to decide that I'm putting everything behind me and I'm moving forward with this clean slate. So yeah, that 10 of Swords is really about putting that stabbed in the back feeling behind you, right? Well, in reverse. You're putting that behind you. You're moving on from a painful thing that happened, right? I think overall everything looks good, but you can be a little hesitant to make those first steps, take those first steps, and you need to. That's what could get in your way here. I think if you can get past that and start moving forward, you've got some really good energy coming in. Okay, new you, new time of life. I think that looks awesome, guys. Thank you so much for watching Group 2, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Hi, Group 3, or if you chose the clear crystal, that's you guys. Clear quartz. So today I'm going to be asking a few specific questions during the reading, and I didn't mention this at the beginning of the video, but you guys actually have extra cards that kept wanting to come out versus the other groups, so something must be going on. We'll see. Your overall energy is the Rabbit right now, and this is like overall energy of life, this reading, what this reading is about. And I want to read from the book from this one because the Rabbit energy is a little bit interesting. All right, so Rabbit, afraid of everything, overwhelmed, frozen. The Rabbit loves to remind his friends that someday the eagle will swoop down and eat him. He talks and talks and talks about it, so loudly, in fact, that one day the eagle hears and thanks him for the great idea. Rabbit energy is alive when we are scared, most often about the future, and we become our own worst enemy. We spin up a dust cloud of fear and then complain to others that we are lost. Notice your thoughts and words, O Rabbit, they shape your destiny. I didn't feel that I could sum that up in a way that would, do it justice. I think some of you really needed to hear all of that. I'm victim of this a lot. I am my own worst enemy, right? Our thoughts and words shape our destiny. What we tell ourselves, our thoughts, that's, something that it's really hard to change. But if you're sitting there having all these negative thoughts, that's going to seep into your day. How can it not? You know, and then now you've got negative energy in your day, and that's going to affect your job, and that's going to affect your relationships, because if you're just walking around with negative energy, that's not good. So let's dive in and see how we can overcome this. So right now, some things that are going on. Let's see. There's a personal issue that needs to reach resolution, right? That makes sense. There's something that you're afraid of, something that's causing you to be afraid of the future, right? That's what that rabbit energy is. And I wanted to read this as well. When a rabbit energy is out of balance, it over explains and talks too fast, right? That's kind of funny. I could see that out of a rabbit. And then to bring into balance, a day of silence. Wow. So we'll keep that in mind, but right now let's focus on right now, right? So your energy now, adjustments are required. A personal issue reaches resolution, and communication is key. So there's something going on. Let's see what it is. I want to ask for clarity right now before we pull any more cards. Let's see. Ten of Swords. Painful endings. Deep wounds, a lot of hurt, being stabbed in the back, right? So something's going on, an ending, something's ending to the point where it's like something really important that you feel you don't know how your future looks. Changes are having to come. Adjustments are required. So this could be something like, you know, maybe you were fired from work and you feel it's totally unjust. Maybe it's something coronavirus related. You're laid off and it's like you put so much time into this job, or this could potentially be a love. I feel like this from a lot of you, it's Three of Pentacles energy. So it's a team maybe that you've been kicked off of, potentially work. To me, Pentacles, work, money, right? I think for a lot of you, that's what it is. All right, so let's see. You have to have courage. Have courage and embrace the feminine. Okay, so have courage, embrace the feminine. So to me, obviously have courage, that's pretty self-explanatory. I think, you know, you have to change that inner self-talk. You have to realize, you have to bring courage into the situation. If you can bring courage and foresee that, okay, yes, something big is changing within me, but I'm strong, I'm smart, and I can get through this. And if that's how you start talking to yourself and your thoughts and what you say to yourself, and I feel like that'll start helping you realize that in real life. Sorry, the camera cut off. But so I feel like if you start bringing in that courage mindset, that's going to help you actually see that within your life start to happen, right? Embrace the feminine. I feel like it's telling you, you got to feel these emotions. This is a big, painful ending. Like this little kitty, can you see that? I hope it focuses on her. She's so sad. There you go. She's so sad, and she's stabbed in the back by 10 freaking swords, okay? I mean, this is gonna be painful, and that's okay, right? Life is ups and downs. You've got to go through the pain in order to feel happiness too. All right, so how do we get through this for you? What can you start focusing on? I feel like that have courage is a big thing for you. But the Great Gathering, it's all coming together. Intuitive hits, Soul Tribe. That's talking about picking up some spiritual soul tribe. I don't necessarily think it has to be spiritual. I think that means just people who are going to touch your soul, right? Who can you really be around that's going to help you? The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. So once you kind of spend that time healing, I do actually feel like it's kind of initiating you into a different realm, in a sense. Like, how do I say this? Spiritual awakening, potentially, that type of energy coming out of this dark cave and into this light. I do feel like that it's going to be a spiritual awakening. That's what's going to help you. And that's something that you can't force. You just have to be open to, right? So the outcome, though, wow. I feel like overall it's really good. You got Ace of Wands, Four of Wands, Ten of Cups, and then you do have Five of Pentacles. So to me, I feel like your immediate outcome is that you are going to feel like you're kind of on the outside of things, you know, your friends' life may be moving and you still feel like, oh, I'm still kind of in this point of pain, which is fine. You know, you have to be there. You have to feel those emotions. Embrace that feminine, right? Embrace those emotions. But I think overall, the outcome of the situation, once you bring that courage in, once you start changing your mindset, once you start really coming out of this, it's going to be really good. You're going to have new potential passions and love opportunities. I feel like it's more so passions, right? Like you're potentially maybe going down a new path with life. I think it's more so like maybe you lost a job and it feels like this major, huge stab in the back pain, a job that you've been working for a long time. But in reality, it's actually going to help you because it's opening your eyes to, well, maybe I can take one of my passions and make that into my life, right? Make that into my job. So I feel like that could potentially be the outcome for some of you. I do feel like for some of you as well, it's bringing new love, new relationship that's going to have the Ten of Cups feeling, the Four of Wands energy. Maybe this is an old relationship that someone cheated on you, someone, I don't know, lied to you, really stabbed you in the back, whatever that was for you. But it's going to come out on the other end, through that tunnel, through that hole, you're going to come out into Ten of Cups energy. I really see that, like, it's like, oh, I'm going through this dark cave. I'm here for a while. This is a big space, but I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and on that other side is that Ten of Cups. That's awesome. Let's see. What clarity can we get? Anything? Nine of Wands. And it was actually asking about the communication is key that came out. And that's kind of like something where you're at right now, right? Like that was something that you're dealing with right now. Personal issue reaches resolution, adjustments are required, and communication is key. Those are what came out. So communication is key. We got Nine of Wands, patience and silence. That's what the book says. Which is funny because the rabbit also said that healing to get into balance was a day of silence, right? So you need to potentially go camp by yourself, spend a day in nature where you don't have the ability to sit there and talk to people, right? That's kind of hard to do in our day-to-day life because we do have to interact with so many people and social media and texts and things like that. If you can, and if that's something that you're willing to do, go camp. go be in a place where you can't, which is funny to me because it's like communication is key. But when I ask for clarity, it's silence. But look at this card now that I'm looking at it some more. Oh, I hope that focuses. Okay, these two women, yeah, it's like inner communication. This is how you're going to fix your thoughts. You need to completely quiet out the outside world. Spend a day with just yourself, just your thoughts, and realize it's okay to have those thoughts. But it's not okay to stay in those thoughts forever, right? Like you gotta move. You gotta get out of that. So to me, it's like, this is so funny because they look so similar. They've got the same nose, same lips, same hair. This is communication with self, right? Close your eyes and just be. And maybe, you know, if camping is not your thing, it's one thing that I really like to do. Lay in bed with some headphones on and some mellow music and just be by myself. Something like that, right? Light candles, take a bubble bath for an hour, quiet the outside world. Don't bring your phone to this situation. Don't bring your computer, and just be with you. Be with your thoughts, and learn how to start changing that inner communication. Anything else? I don't think there's anything else I need clarity on, so I think that pretty much wraps up. Hang in there. I think the outcome is really good. You know, you got to do some work first, but I do think overall your outcome is actually really good. Thank you so much, Group 3, for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if this resonated, please give me a thumbs up and a like, subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.